That's so Raimi. Evil Dead techniques and references in Drag Me to Hell. Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell was a return to his horror roots. It was written in the early 90s by Sam Raimi and his brother Ivan while Darkman was in development hell. This was shortly after Army of Darkness, and the 2009 film feels very much like an evolution of the Evil Dead series. Drag Me to Hell not only has a big Raimi stamp on it as far as direction and storytelling goes, it also has a ton of visual references and gags that call back to the original horror series it evolved from. The classic. Raimi first used his 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88 in the original Evil Dead that he nicknamed the Classic. It's been found in every film he's currently directed aside from The Great and Powerful Oz, as well as a few Coen Brothers films. Drag Me to Hell is no different, as the car is driven by Miss Ganush and is prominently featured in the film. Chalk outlines. One of the great visual gags in Evil Dead 2 is the missing chainsaw bit in the shed. Like something out of a Warner Brothers cartoon, Raimi comedically delivers information visually that a chainsaw is supposed to be in the shed but is missing. In Drag Me to Hell, Christine, played by Alison Lohman, goes to her shed to find some items to pawn, pulls back a similar curtain, and takes a drill off the wall. The drill has a similar chalk outline after she removes it. Eyeballs. Raimi's eyeball popping gag from Evil Dead 2 also makes a return, as Christine gets an eye and mouthful of eyeballs and gore in the shed shortly after the drill gag. Many have criticized this scene for poor visual effects, but I've always liked to think that it was Raimi's modern take on the often cheap-looking gags from his horror roots. Blood. Raimi's use of extreme amounts of blood in comedic fashion also makes his return in Drag Me to Hell. In Evil Dead 2, blood sprays out of the wall like a fire hose. Then, in Army of Darkness, blood from a single man shoots out of the ground like a geyser. In Drag Me to Hell, a simple nosebleed sprays out like a water hose onto Christine's manager.
Mr. Jackson!
Did I get any in my mouth?
Anchor Bay. Anchor Bay has distributed many special editions of Evil Dead 1 and 2 on home video. And in Christine's house, there's a picture of a sailboat that resembles the Anchor Bay logo. The Cabin. In a nod to Evil Dead, Christine's boyfriend Clay, played by Justin Long, mentions going to his parents' cabin that has trees and is private.
On Saturday, get on the train and go to Santa Barbara.
Your folks' cabin.
Which sounds very much like the cabin from Evil Dead.
You shall die!
Levitating Possessed. Raimi loves to possess characters in his horror films, and to add to the terror, they often levitate. In Army of Darkness, a few characters levitate in the air while taunting Ash. Drag Me to Hell's seance scene has one of the characters possessed, floating above a table and taunting everyone by dancing. Creepy eyes. Eyes being anywhere but a face never fails to be creepy. In Army of Darkness, when Ash starts growing evil Ash out of his shoulder, an eye pops out first and looks around. In similar fashion, Christine Brown is eating a cake in Drag Me when an eye pops out of it and starts looking around as well. She of course stabs it, but part of me wonders if an evil Christine Brown was about to pop out of the cake. Talking animals. Evil Dead 2 features a mounted deer that laughs at Ash during the scene in which the entire cabin appears to be possessed. In Drag Me to Hell, a talking goat gets possessed and speaks to Christine in a similarly hilarious and terrifying fashion.
You black-hearted whore!
No, Milos, no!
Get some. While driving to the cemetery, a pissed-off Christine says,
I'm gonna get some.
which may be a little out of place for a character, but is a direct reference to Ash's iconic,
Come get some.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to our YouTube page, and check out more content at housebythevideostore.com. We also have a podcast that you can find on our site or by searching House by the Video Store on iTunes.